Welcome, and thank you for choosing MediaVision, the world's leading supplier of personal computer multimedia kits. In this video, we'll show you how to install the sound card and CD ROM drive that come in this kit. This video is suited for any level of user. You can watch each step first, pause the video and do it yourself, or watch the whole video first to get the big picture, then follow the installation manual for each step. Either way you do it, it takes only minutes to transform this into this, or this. Let's start our journey into tomorrow. Need directions? Your computer manual shows you how to work with your particular computer. Your MediaVision Getting Started book illustrates step by step how to install your kit. When in doubt, check the books. Our years of travel experience are distilled into these easy-to-read, entertaining guides. Still feeling confused? Turn to your expert guides at MediaVision Technical Support. You'll find our phone number in the back of the books. Now let's look at what you need on your trip. Your list of items to take is called a packing list. Check through it to make sure you have everything. Set out the sound card, the CD ROM drive, the cable packet, and the installation discs. You will also need a crosshead or Phillips screwdriver, and labels or masking tape, and a pen for marking your computer cables. While traveling, keep these precautions in mind. Always turn your computer off before working on it. Before each step, touch a metal part of your computer. Why? Everybody carries some static electricity on them. It can jump from you to other things. This can damage parts of your computer. So remember, before each step, touch a metal part of your computer. Hold your sound card by its edges and your CD ROM drive flat, level, and right side up. Remember, turn your computer off. Discharge static by touching a metal part of your computer. Don't touch chips or circuits. Hold the sound card by its edges. Hold the CD ROM drive correctly. Before we start, let's look where we're going. A typical multimedia computer looks like this. How did it get this way? Imagine the rest of the computer isn't there. Presto! The brains of the whole operation is the sound card, which converts data to sound and also controls the CD ROM drive, which reads data and audio CDs. The two are connected by a wide data cable and a narrow CD audio cable. The card plays sound out through speakers. Now that you've seen what we're doing, let's see how it's done. Start with your safety precautions. Turn off your computer. And monitor. Use labels or masking tape to mark each cable and its connection. When you have them all marked, remove the cables from your computer. Your computer manual shows you how to open your computer. We'll show you how to open up a typical desktop computer. If your computer cover has screws, remove them and set them aside. Slowly slide the cover off the computer. Beware of wires inside. Don't snag them. Put the cover aside. Whenever your computer is open, discharge static frequently. The best way to do this is to touch the side of the power supply. Your computer now looks like this. Notice these slots for attaching your sound card. Your sound card requires a slot like this. Find one inside your computer. To make the installation easier, choose one that gives you room to work. This metal strip covers a hole in the back of your computer. Your sound card has small connectors that stick out through the hole. Remove this piece of metal. Set the screw aside. We'll use it later. Discharge static again. Slide the sound card out of the bag and pick it up by its edges. Line up the bottom of the card with the slot you've chosen. Then push the card firmly into the slot. If it's going in correctly, it will snap into place with a bit of pushing. If you're pushing hard and nothing is happening, stop. Stuck? Make sure the card is not hitting a slot cover for another slot. Remove the slot covers near the slot you're using. Try a different slot. If all else fails, contact your computer maker's technical support department for more help. Once the card is in, use the screw you just removed to fasten the sound card to your computer. Before you depart, let's review. Turn off power, remove the cover slowly, discharge static, don't touch chips or circuits. Find an available slot. Push the card in firmly until it snaps into place. Don't force it. Call your computer company for assistance if you need it. All right, now it's time for you to install your own card. Installation of the CD ROM drive is next. This is done in two parts. Part 1 is getting your computer ready. Part 2 is installing the drive. Look at your computer's floppy disk drives. Now that the cover is off, you can see there's some empty space here. If there isn't space, stop. Call your computer company for advice on making space available. The empty space is arranged into sections. Choose one of these sections as the place to install your CD ROM drive. Now look at the front of your computer's cover. In most covers, there are plates which protect unused spaces. Remove the plate that corresponds to the section you've chosen. Next, you may need to move other computer parts out of the way of the section to work in it. With everything cleared out, you can see how to attach your CD ROM drive. Some computers need supports on the side of the drive. These are called rails. Here's how to tell. If there are long, straight grooves running from the back of the computer to the front, you use rails. If there are no grooves, you don't need rails. Just skip over the instructions on adding rails. Your multimedia kit comes with plastic rails specially designed for the drive. Some computers, though, use their own type of rails. You will have to get these from your computer maker. Using rails is simple. Place the rails, one on each side, and put one screw in the front and rear of both sides of the drive, 4 screws total. Use the screws that come with the rails. Using screws not designed for the rails may damage the CD ROM drive. Tighten the screws until just snug. Do not use power tools. If you over-tighten the screws, you will damage the CD ROM drive. Ready to review part 1? Remove the plate from the cover. Move computer parts aside to get to the section. See if you need rails. If so, what type of rails? Use the right screws. Don't over-tighten the screws. Now, prepare your own computer. Now for part 2. We will now attach the drive to your computer. First, discharge static by touching your computer power supply. Look at the back of your CD ROM drive. This is the power connector. Look inside your computer for an unused power plug that matches this connector. Label the plug. You will attach it after you put your CD ROM drive into your computer. If there are no unused power plugs, stop. Contact your computer maker for assistance in finding a free power plug. Find the CD audio cable. It's a thin, round cable with small plugs. You'll see that one of the plugs matches this small connector on the drive. The cable can only plug in one way. Connect the cable to the CD ROM drive. Next comes the long, flat, gray cable called a data cable. The plugs on either end have tabs which fit into a matching slot in the connectors of the drive and sound card. You must put these in the right way or the drive won't work. Plug the data cable into the CD ROM drive. Now we'll insert your CD ROM drive. Take the empty ends of the audio and data cable and feed them into the drive area of your computer. Feed them in slowly until you see them inside your computer. Then slide in your CD ROM drive. If your drive uses rails, make sure that they line up with the grooves. Keep sliding until the front of the CD ROM drive lines up with the front of your computer. Tighten the screws until just snug. Now replace anything else you moved inside your computer. Finally, plug the power cable into the CD ROM drive. It only fits one way. Let's review part 2. Discharge static. Identify an unused power plug. Attach the CD audio and data cables. Slide in the CD ROM drive and attach. Connect the power plug to the CD ROM drive. Now attach your CD ROM drive. All you have to do now is plug the CD ROM drive into the sound card. For both cables, the plugs only fit the connectors one way. First, we'll attach the CD audio cable. Your card may have one or more connectors. The connectors are on the top edge of the card near the back of the computer. If your card has more than one, you need to check your Getting Started book. If your card has only one, plug the CD audio cable into it. Now look at the large data connectors. Your card may have one or more connectors. If your card has more than one, you need to check your Getting Started book. If your card has only one, plug the data cable into it. Let's review. The cables attach only one way. Check your Getting Started book for the right connectors to use. Plug in the CD audio cable. Plug in the data cable. Now connect your sound card and CD ROM drive. We're almost done. Let's reassemble your computer. Check all the connections. Then arrange the cables neatly inside. This helps avoid snagging them or pinching them on the cover. Replace the computer cover, watching for cables sticking out. Then replace the cover screws. Finally, attach speakers. You need either speakers or headphones to listen to sound. Speakers or headphones plug into the sound card at the back of the computer. The connector is labeled. If you can't see the label, check your Getting Started book for the proper connector. Reconnect the other cables using the labels as a guide. Now reassemble your computer. Your hardware is now in. To make it work, you need to install the software that controls it. To do this, turn on the machine. Make sure your speakers or headphones are plugged in correctly. Have Windows running before you start installing. Find the 1 or 2 floppy diskettes that came with your kit. There also may be an install CD disk. Write down the brief instructions on the diskette label. Put the diskette into the floppy drive. Close all active applications. From the Program Manager, use your mouse to click on File and then on Run. Type in the command that begins the install process. Click OK. The program begins. It first copies files to your hard disk. Then it displays the directory name on the screen. Write this name down in your Getting Started book. You may have to insert a second diskette or even a CD disk. During the install, the program needs to restart your computer. It asks you if it can continue. Unless you know some reason for not doing this, click on Continue. The program then prompts you to remove the installation diskette. As your computer starts up again, the install program continues with a hardware test. The program uses the test results to make your computer and multimedia kit work together. During the test, sounds coming from your speakers indicate that the test was successful. If you don't hear any sound, or if something else seems wrong, check the Getting Started book for help. If the test succeeds, this message also appears. Press any key on the keyboard to continue. Your computer restarts one last time so new settings can take effect. That's it. Putting in the software is the simplest part of the process. And now you're done. Before you install the software, let's review. Make sure Windows is running. Write down the command that starts the installation program. Insert the diskette. Close any active applications. Select File, Run, and then type in the command. Then click on OK. Write down the directory name. Respond Continue to restart your computer. A test runs. The computer restarts with new settings. Now run the installation program. Welcome to the land of multimedia. You've successfully installed your kit. Now it's time to explore the new land. We'll give you some quick examples of installing multimedia programs. Our first example is a multimedia encyclopedia that runs under Windows. The program comes with instructions that you can refer to. We put the CD into the CD ROM drive. In Windows, we use File Run to start the installation. We type in D:\setup, which is the command to install this particular program. For our encyclopedia, the program immediately starts installing. We follow the instructions to complete the install. After we're done and we want to run our program, we put in the CD and click twice on the icon to run it. Some programs must be installed outside of Windows. These programs also run outside Windows. You should always check the program's manual for more details. In any travel adventure, you sometimes need to ask for directions. You have several travel guides to assist you. Multimedia User Guide is an easy-to-read guide to the whole world of multimedia. There's also a Windows Online help file. Double-click on the question mark. You'll find the same information as in the books, as well as advanced information, troubleshooting tips, and testing tools. For the really tough questions, your multimedia travel agent is standing by. The phone numbers are listed in both books. The next destination is up to you. Your adventure is waiting to begin in the world of multimedia.